Create a scatter plot on your graphing calculator for the population data for North Carolina given in the table. So here we have the year and the population in millions. So I'm going to say we'll let x represent the years since 2000. So then our inputs would be rather, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, and we'll leave the population numbers alone. So now we were asked to use the calculator, so let me go to the calculator. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to input the data, and we do that through the statistical features of the calculator. So I will hit the Stat button, and I'm going to edit some data. So I press Enter. Now I've got some data in there already, so I want to clear it out. So what we do is move to the list 1, L1, and go up to the top, and what you'll do is hit Clear and press down. And do the same thing with L2. Move up to the L2, hit Clear and press down. So now everything's clear and ready for my data. So I'm going to type in the X values, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And for my L2, I'm going to put in the Y values, in this case the population. So I'll have 8.41, 8.52, 8.66. Oh, be careful, I missed the decimal there. 0.66, 8.85, 9.04, and 9.22. One thing you always want to check here is make sure that you have this, that your last data points line up. There's no mismatched data. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my statistical features. I'm going to turn on my stat plot. All right, so hit second and the y equals button to get to the stat plot. Let's look into plot 1 here. So I'm going to hit enter. Notice that right now plot 1 is off. Let's turn it on by hitting enter to toggle it on. The type is a scatter plot, and it's going to have, as my x values, it's going to have list 1, my y values will be list 2, and it'll show a little box for each data point. Now, let's find an appropriate window. So we have to set a window that's reasonable. So let's look at the x and y values. The x values are between 3 and 8. So what I'll do is I'll say let's go from 0 to 10. Let's go a little bit on either side, and let's have a scale of 1. We'll see a mark every 1. My y values go from 8.41 to 9.22. Let's go a little bit in either direction. So how about my y minimum is at 8 and my y maximum is at 10, and I'll use a scale of 0.25 there. Alright, so now we have the stat plot on, we have the window set. Let's look at the graph. So I see these data points, and I see a roughly linear pattern for the data. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that and move it over here. Alright, so here's a reasonable scatter plot for that.